How did you come up with the idea for the game?
Well, in 1979, when I bought my Apple II, Sierra had a huge hit. When Time Magazine started its column on home computers, the first issue featured a big story and a photograph of soft porn, which was a text only, the only text only game Sierra ever published. No graphics, but it was written by a guy named Chuck Benton, who was thought he would buy an Apple II and use it to create database software. But he thought I should do a test case first to see if two floppy drives can actually handle a database program. So he wrote a database that used an adventure game format. So it was his test case. And he sent it around to a couple of publishers, and Ken thought it was hilarious and thought it was a game that would sell. And so he packaged it up in a racy cover and in a Ziploc bag, by the way. That was how early it was. And soft porn became an industry phenomenon. I finished, I think, King's Quest 3. And I was looking around for something to do, and I said, what do you think I should do next, Ken? And he said, well, soft porn was a huge hit. Maybe you could do something with that. Take it home and play it and see what you think. So I took it home, and I came back a week later, and I said, oh, God, Ken, this game is so out of touch. It should be wearing a leisure suit. And I got a laugh, and I thought, well, leisure suits are funny. So I said the only way I could do a version of this is if you'd let me make fun of it. If I could make something funny out of it, but you couldn't take it seriously as a game. It wasn't very good. And so he said, at a time he was at another crossroads where he was short of cash, and so he said, well, I'll tell you what, if you'll do it on speculation, I'll give you a much bigger royalty rate, and if you can get it done in so many months, I'll give you this much extra. And I go, oh, okay, well, all right, no advances, yeah, okay, big rate, okay. So I guess that sounds fair. So we were still living on my wife's salary as a teacher, so I went home and tried to put in anything funny that I could think of. I wasn't sure how to write a funny game, so I just kind of started, and the game didn't have a protagonist, but I knew leisure suits were funny, and so I made the guy Leisure Suit Gary at first, which is not very alliterative, but it was a poke in the eye of this salesman that used to come by Sierra and tell us of all of his exploits and sexual conquests that he had while he was out on the road. And was a kind of a sleazy guy, and so we just called him Gary. And that was easy. But then Gary quit the company, and I had to rename him something. And I thought, well, gosh, it should be, since Leisure Suit and Land of Lounge Lizards, maybe it should be an L. So I got out my Encyclopedia Britannica. Remember those? I actually had a Britannica. And I opened the L volume and started flipping pages, and the first picture I came to was that of Arthur B. Laffer, who was an advisor to Ronald Reagan when he was president, and the creator of the Laffer curve and trickle-down economics, and was pretty much a joke among liberals, I guess, but I thought, who better to name a humorous character after than the word Laffer? And so he became Larry Laffer.